All right, the next speaker up, you'll know him as the Insta Pundit, PJ TV correspondent, also the author of An Army of David. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Mr. Glenn Reynolds.
Thanks for having me here. And you know, before I start, I just have to say I've been to a lot of events where I've spoken, and I don't think I've been to one that was as much of a well-oiled machine as this one. I've never been to Quincy before, but it seems like it's a place where people know how to get things done. And you're doing it. Well, I want to talk a little about history today. Because what's going on right now is something that seems new in my lifetime, but it's not really new at all. The people are rising. And that's not really new. In fact, Pauline Maier, in a great book called From Resistance to Revolution about the colonial era, says that back in the framers' times, in certain circumstances, it was understood, the people would rise up almost as a natural force. And this phenomenon often contributed to public welfare. That's what's happening right now. The kind of things that cause people to resort to not quite revolution, but more than just ordinary voting and talking, were typically things like corruption in office, tax increases that seemed unwarranted, self-dealing, the corrupt administration of the law, the elevation of the unqualified to high positions, and the like. Some people would say we're seeing that now. And what's happened is kind of what we had before. The people have risen almost as a natural force. Nancy Pelosi and others tried to say that this was AstroTurf. That it was all some sort of scam that the Republicans or the insurance companies had put together. There were about 2 million blades of AstroTurf on the Washington Mall today. If the Republicans could do that, they'd still be in power. What's going on is something very different. And it's what, in my Army of David's book, I call horizontal organization. It's not the old-fashioned way of getting people to do things where you had to have some big institution, a church, a labor union, a political party. Now, the people organize themselves. That's how the Tea Party movement worked. It started out with a few little scattered events. People saw what other people did and they said, hey, that looks like fun. And they did it themselves. And it is fun, isn't it? Yeah. And I notice people, once they do it once, they want to do it again. And they watch what other places try, other groups and other communities try. And if it works, they copy it. They add their own little changes and other people copy them. It's adaptive. It doesn't need one brain at the top because it has millions of brains in the trenches. And that's what's going on right now. The Tea Party movement is a warning to our political class. And you know, around the internet, people like to quote something I said once as if it was something profound. What I said was, we have the worst political class in American history. That's not profound, that's obvious. I mean, I'm standing here where we had the Lincoln-Douglas debate, and who do we have now? Hey, give me a break. But there's something great that's going on right now. They may be the worst political class, and I want to stress, people sometimes quote me saying that as if I'm just talking about the Democrats. But if the Republicans had done their job the way they promised, they'd still be in power. And if they want to get back in power, they're going to have to convince people that they really will do a better job next time. And I don't think that's going to be so easy. They're going to have their work cut out for them.